Hey folks, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show right here for the 9th of April 2014. How you doing? Okay, whole bunch of stuff happening down in southern Nevada in Clark County. And that's about an hour and a half away from Las Vegas, something like that. And I got to tell you, this, more and more and more and more people are going down there. People from Michigan, apparently, from what I've heard, are on their way. So, I'm going to say this to the feds. Back off now. You have no business being there. It is against the law, and your sheriff in that county, in Clark County, is a piece of crap. He's not standing on the Constitution for this family and for what's happening. He can tell the feds, get the hell out. This is my county. Go away. But he's not doing it. He's totally bought and sold and paid for by the feds. So, what does all this have to, how did all this happen? I mean, what's this all about? Well, go to Free America Radio on Facebook or the Wayne S. Pierce Show on Facebook and check out some of the articles that I have there. How can anyone call themselves an American and, say that they're for the Constitution and say that they're freedom lovers, they like their liberty and all that? How can they say that and have a badge on? How can they? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. I don't see how anybody that can call themselves a sheriff and say that they're upholding the laws and the Constitution and protecting the rights of the people and have a badge on and just sit there and let the feds just run all over them. I really don't. I really don't. There's a lot going on today, and because of that, I'm probably going to have a short live broadcast. Don't know how long yet. Depends what news stories coming out of southern Nevada I can find. And to give you the breaking news, if it were, there's just so freaking much. Right now, from Guerrilla Media Network on Facebook, I'm assuming that Pete Santilli wrote this because there's a big sign that says Pete Santilli is here. And it says, although I'm honored and humbled by the attention, I am disappointed that we don't have 1 million people here with us to kick out the feds. Hey, folks, do it. Get down there. Do what you got to do. Okay? There's people camping out. There's all kinds of things going on down there. He put up and if you're worried about the facilities, if you know what I'm talking about, there's a couple of outhouses there for people. So anyway, this is getting very tense. I don't think that things are going to get out of hand too much, because I think that, when Sheriff Mack speaks, other sheriffs listen. Go to cpoa.org. I think that's what it is. Let me go take a look of my cspoa.org. Let's go take a look and see what that is. Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. That's Sheriff Mack's website. You people need to get on there and support these sheriffs who are doing things constitutionally, doing things to help you as a citizen protect yourself. Now, I'm at the point in this whole business where I see the federal government have an overreaching, overpowering sense of ego that says, I want those people to be suppressed. Excuse me. There's a lot of good federal employees. There's a lot of good federal employees in the CIA and the FBI, ATF, Bureau of Land Management, a lot of good people, but unfortunately, though there are other people in those departments that feel, well, if I have power, if I have this, you know, you have those people. Excuse me. Let me go to break. I shall be back in a minute, 45 seconds, and go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show or Free America Radio on Facebook and check things out. Be right back. If you're into liberty and libertarian values, tune in to The Angel Clark Show, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, at radiofreedom.us.
No elitist drivel, no media spin. Logic over emotion, fact over fiction. The home of independent conservative thought. The Conservative Voice with your host, Jeff Wagner, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
Around the planet on the World Wide Web.
The storm is on the horizon. The system of government that we currently have in this country is collapsing. We are on the brink of total disaster as a nation, a people, and a planet. Who or what can save us? Listen to The Views Expressed live, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific, at freeamericaradio.us. Hey folks, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show right here for the 9th of April, 2014. How y'all doing? I hate allergies, I'm just telling you. I hate my nose being all plugged up like it is most of the time. Yeah, I know. Got any remedies? Anyway, Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. For this show, go to the WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com. The WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com. Email me through there if you'd like. I don't know. Seriously. I don't know how a person who can call themselves a patriot, I don't know how you can just sit there and just allow these things to happen. Okay? I don't. I just do not know how you can allow these things to happen. The government is running roughshod over your rights. The government is taking, well, the government has such a big ego that they don't want to have any competition whatsoever, that they create laws that don't apply to them, and then they tell you that you broke these laws. Okay? I don't know how anybody can sit there and watch your stupid sports programs and watch your unreality reality shows and accept what is going on. Seriously. I really, really don't. I don't know how you can sit there and let a man like Mr. Cliven Bundy, who has 600,000 acres of grazing land that he has a perfectly good right to allow his cattle to graze on because his family's been there since 1877. I don't know how you can sit there and let a man like that be corralled into his house, let's say, and have all sorts of federal agents and militarized law enforcement out there. I don't even want to call them that. They're thugs. They're not even law enforcement. They're not enforcing the law. They're doing everything they can to take away this man's livelihood. Other farmers all over the cattle ranchers, farmers all over the United States have been put out of business because of the overregulation, because of the federal government coming in going, oh, we don't like the competition. We have corporate farms that Monsanto owns, and so we know better than you. Your family's been here how long? 150 years? We don't give a crap. You're going out of business because we are the big boys in town. Well, let me tell you something. To Monsanto and all that GMO-filled food that you have on your corporate farms, you're a piece of crap, and you need to go away, and we will make sure you go away. Because the families in the United States of America and their ancestors that have been here for years own these farms, own this land, and every single state is a sovereign country unto itself. And I guarantee you the American people are going to say that the feds need to get the hell out of Nevada now. And if Brian Sandoval, the governor of Nevada, has any balls whatsoever, he would go down there and tell the feds, get the hell out of my state. But you see, these people are bought and paid for. These people are bought and paid for with your tax money, folks. With your tax money. You're allowing this. I was just listening to the Pete Santilli show before I came on air, and I got to tell you something. He said it, and I know this because the pictures are there. He says there's white vehicles down there with federal markings on them. There's all this. Now, why do the feds need 200 people, 200 armed thugs to tell an old 67-year-old man, a cattle rancher, that he can't do what he has been doing for quite a while? That's because the federal government are a bunch of thugs. And that's the way it is. Now, I don't care what people think of me. I never have. I never will. Because of preconceived ideas that people have. Let me say that again, and let me put that whole sentence together before somebody downloads this and cuts this up. I don't care what people think of me because they have preconceived ideas about who they think I am, and they don't agree with me because I don't think the same way they do. Well, they're a piece of crap too. Bye. Have a nice day. Enjoy. The facts are the facts, folks. If you're more apt to live a life where you want other people's approval, you're never going to get it. So you might as well just get rid of those preconceived ideas, move on down the line, enjoy what you can do for yourself and others in your life, and have a nice day. So this bull crap that's going on with the feds down in southern Nevada has to stop immediately. And either the sheriff can get some balls and realize his constitutional obligations, or he can resign in the next 24 hours. Mr. Sheriff Gillespie down there in Clark County. Either he does what he does constitutionally and understands his role and responsibility as a sheriff, or he can take his badge on and turn in his gun, take his badge off and turn in his gun, and resign in the next 24 to 48 hours. We don't need a sheriff in our counties that aren't standing up on the Constitution and doing what they pledged they would do. Protect the citizens of the United States of America, of their county, the citizens where they live. And if he can't do that, sir, Mr. Gillespie, you need to resign immediately. And if that doesn't happen, then Brian Sandoval, the governor of Nevada, has to step up to the plate and tell this sheriff, you have an obligation, sir. You either do it or I will relieve you from duty, and I will take care of this. Now, that goes out to every single sheriff in every single county in every single state of the United States of America. You either do your job or give up. Because the people are holding you accountable for the actions that you take. And if situations in their counties like this in southern Nevada happen in their state, in their county, you, Mr. Sheriff, of your counties are responsible to do what is right by the people because they voted you to be the sheriff. Now, either way, you can interpret that any way you want, but I see it this way. The American people have spoken. We do not want tyranny in the federal government, in our state governments, or in our county. And we will do everything lawfully, constitutionally, to make sure that we change things to our benefit by any means necessary. And if that means we have to, do what we got to do at the ballot box, we'll do that. But the sheriff but the undersheriff or whoever is running against this sheriff down there in Clark County is just like this man that is currently the sheriff. So we don't need somebody like him. And after this mess, I don't think that guy should even run for sheriff. I really don't. So, my question to you, to the American people, is this. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because as far as I'm concerned, this is not the United States of America. As far as I'm concerned, I don't see freedom and liberty in the country of my birth. I don't see freedom and liberty in the state that I reside. I see a massive tyranny, a police state, thugs running roughshod over somebody's livelihood. But there are more and more people going down to Clark County and being on the side of Mr. Cliven Bundy. And if the feds don't understand just how much power the people of that county have and the power the people of the United States have for Mr. Bundy, who we will stand next to until this problem is resolved, if the feds don't see that, then we'll take every measure necessary in our civil courts and our federal courts. And we will make sure that the feds are held responsible and that the feds pay Mr. Bundy everything they have to. We will shut down the Department of Homeland Security. We will shut down the TSA, and we will shut down this government for the benefit of we the people. If we see anything that we consider a discrepancy or a violation of our civil rights. And feds, if you don't believe it, go talk to the American people. Oh yeah, you can get your UN troops out of here too, because we'll take care of ourselves. What we see is not always the truth. Lies, deceit, cover-ups. This is the world we live in. It is not reality. It is distorted reality. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook and distortedreality.podbean.com. Photography is an art form, and Adventures in Photography shows you all of the forms of art there is in our world. Spencer Hughes captures the colors and works of natural art in his book, Adventures in Photography. For more information, go to spencerhughesphotography.com. Hey folks, this is the Views Express, not the Views Express, that's on today. That's what I wanted to tell you. The Views Express live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right there on Spreaker.com, on freeamericaradio.us, and on wakingupthemasses.com. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, for the 9th of April, 2014. How y'all doing today? Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. And, yes, I'll, I will tell you more. I know I get really riled up. I know that I get really pissed off at people who want to take away my rights, but I guarantee you, we the people will succeed. On the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page from a healthy, Ion, A-E-O-N, healthyaeon.com. Is that Ion? Biophotons. The human body emits, communicates with, and is made of light. That's what that's saying. Kind of an interesting article I wanted to put up there. Here's an example in Oklahoma, in Moore, Oklahoma, what should happen in Clark County, Nevada. Go to ijreview.com. It's on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. Beyond powerful, watch an entire town stand up to the Westboro Baptist Church protesters. When members of the Westboro Baptist Church showed up to picket Moore, Oklahoma, a town that was ravaged by a powerful tornado last year, they probably didn't expect a reaction like this. Thousands of residents held a counter-protest across the street and eventually ran Westboro members away. What a powerful and resilient statement from a group of people who have already been through so much together. This is what community pride is all about. There's a video there as well. Now, I want to say this. I want to make this perfectly clear. I am not for violent revolution. Never have been, never will be. But the feds seem to think that the more power that they show the American people, they think that we'll just roll over and just give up. What they don't understand and probably don't realize and probably could not learn from our history because they don't know it, that we the people are a resilient people. No matter what they do, we will bounce back. And whatever it is they plan on doing, we will see through it in a heartbeat. In the end, we will have a lot of our federal agents and organizations and people in those organizations in prison. We will do what we have to do. Because we, the people, have the power, and we make the rules, not the federal government. I'm going to give you a little heads up here on on the Free America Radio Facebook page. Give you a little preview of what's coming up on the Views Express live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I've got videos up on there. I've got a bunch of stories as well. From GuerrillaMediaNetwork.com, mainstream media will start reporting on Clive Bundy's fight with the federal government tomorrow. And this was put up 15 hours ago, so that's today on Glenn Beck and Fox News. Thanks for your support. Thanks to your support, Clive and Bundy, his family, and protesters on the ground are gaining the shield of being high profile in the media. The government does not like being exposed to the light of truth and are more likely to not fire while Mr. Bundy has your support and attention of the media. Keep up the good work, and as always, GMN is proud to have your support. Also from Guerrilla Media Network exclusive, Sheriff Mack fires warning shot to Nevada Clark County. Now, when it says fire, we're talking intellectually here, okay? It is beyond lamentable that Clark County has a sheriff who will not keep his oath of office to allow a Clark County citizen's rights to be destroyed and his family's livelihood and their pursuit of happiness trampled upon by those in power, and to sit back and watch and even worse support such abuse is precisely the opposite of what a true sheriff would do. To pretend to the public that we will protect your property and businesses from street gangs and criminals, but the thugs of Washington, D.C. can steal and destroy all they want makes very little sense. Does that make the citizens of Las Vegas feel safer? Excuse me. It goes on and says, as the author here says, or Sheriff Mack says, I pray for the day when local public servants will put liberty and American ideals first and not allow the dictates and policies of D.C. bureaucracies to supersede the Constitution, which, of course, folks, they are right now, period. The feds don't give a crap about the Constitution, never have and never will, and they're going to trample on it and trample on your rights any chance they get. Continuing, there is absolutely no question that the quote-unquote leaders of Clark County could have stopped this farce and abuse from even happening to Clive and Bundy and his family. It's high time to elect a sheriff in Clark County who will protect the people, quote, from all enemies, both foreign and domestic, unquote, a solid rule to follow in this year's sheriff elections. Whoever Sheriff Gillespie endorses, vote for anybody else. Sheriff Richard Mack, retired. I want to tell you one thing. I stand behind Sheriff Mack. I stand behind Clive and Bundy. Let me read you something else from Operation Mutual Aid 1.webs.com. Operation Mutual Aid. Warning, you are about to enter a free speech zone. That's their mission. This is what it says here. Disclaimer, any comments by members that fall outside of the mission statement are respective to their authors and in no way represents the view of the entirety of Operation Mutual Aid. Excuse me. Warning, you are about to enter a free speech zone. The best way to guarantee the implementation of this second becomes necessary when you willfully forfeit your aggressive exercise of the first. We, the men and women of Operational Mutual Aid, want to make it perfectly clear that the first right we are taking back from the enemy is free speech as intended in the founding documents. Quote, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances, unquote. First Amendment Bill of Rights. If you are one of many mindless, brainwashed people that has fallen prey to the idea that somehow the First Amendment includes the words, unless there is a chance someone could be offended, you have the right to move along without entering. We simply ask that you ponder as you exit. As George Orwell said, quote, people sleep peacefully peacefully in their beds at night only because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf, unquote. Many of the men on this page have dedicated much of their lives to defending the freedoms many, if not most, take for granted. If you are unable to accept the fact that they speak in different ways than you because of their lives' experiences, then you do not deserve the freedoms bestowed upon you by men such as the ones here, willing, ready, and able to do battle with the enemy on your behalf. Again, feel free to get in line for your daily FEMA ration after spending the day in the slave labor camp. Quote, in the beginning, the patriot is a scarce man and brave and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, however, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot, unquote. Mark Twain. You have a right to hate and scorn us. This is what Mutual Aid, Operation Mutual Aid 1.webs.com has said on their page. You have the right to hate and scorn us, but we have the right to not care. May the battle to come begin with us, present and accounted for at the time and place of our choosing. There's so many things that really need your attention. So many things need your attention. And right now, Cliven Bundy needs your support. Now here's something else. And I'm going to go off into this direction and I'm going to ask you a question. If you're sitting at home, and if you're watching TV and you're watching your stupid unreality reality shows and you're watching your stupid sports programs, and somebody just opens your front door, maybe it's not locked, I don't know, or knocks on your door and you open it and they come in and they go to your refrigerator and start taking your food and start eating and making a sandwich, and then they grab your keys and take off and go driving around and come back and don't do anything. But then they tell you, you know what, I manage this neighborhood so I can come in here and do whatever I want. What would you do? You would hope that the neighbors in your neighborhood, your next door neighbor, the neighbor down the street, whatever, could come along and help you get this person out of your house, right? This is exactly what's happening down in Clark County with Cliven Bundy. The Bureau of Land Management, who doesn't own the land, it's sovereign to the state of Nevada. It's not federal land because it's sovereign to the people of the state of Nevada. And there's all sorts of laws on the books to prove that. The Bureau of Land Management has come in, looked at Clive Bundy and said, you know, we're managing this land and you need to stop letting your cows graze on 600,000 acres. If not, we're going to fine you. If not, we're going to do this. If not, we're going to do that. Well, he's fought that for 20 years. And guess what? He's won. And because of his victory of sorts in the courts with the politicians, with the county, now the feds jump in and say, no, we don't like that answer. We're going to take matters in our own hands. We're going to force this cattle rancher out of the area, and we're going to cause him to be destitute. That is your federal government, folks, using the Bureau of Land Management to do just that. The Bureau of Land Management, at last count, purchased and has contracted to purchase over, 2 million, 5 million rounds of ammunition? What for? To do just what they're doing today. So as far as I am concerned, the enemies that are foreign are one thing, but the enemies that are domestic are something else completely. We either get down to southern Nevada and we stand beside Cliven Bundy and his family, or you have no balls, nor do you have a heart and soul for the freedoms and liberties and security of this nation. You can't miss it. If you even think that this guy doesn't deserve another American or another group of citizens in the United States to come to his aid, you are completely wrong. And I really seriously have to question your integrity. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you don't do what's right for the peace, freedom, and security of this nation, for your fellow Americans, for your neighborhood, for yourself, then you can pack your crap and go to Russia, because you obviously don't deserve to be in America, let alone free. Yeah, I said it. You disagree with me? Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com, bundyranch.blogspot.com. Today, April 9th, 2014, just to clarify, people have been asking why we are going off roads and causing trouble. As of now, we have not been going off any marked roads, even though we have the rights because they are state roads. We know a few people have been concerned about the videos posted yesterday where we protected our family and friends from being harassed and taken to jail. The road they were on was unmarked. The boys were only taking pictures of the helicopters running Bundy cattle to death. When we saw the BLM start to surround them, we knew they needed our help, so we didn't have to repeat or have a repeat of what happened to Dave Bundy. We didn't go there to start a fight. We went to stand for our rights, video what was happening, and to protect those boys and gentlemen. That's Bundy Ranch. .blogspot.com. Crap's going down, folks. Crap's going down. When you grow a garden in your backyard, if one of your neighbors sees it, guess what they're going to do? They're going to call the authorities. Some of your neighbors, not all of them, but the ones that want something from the government and think they can get anything from the government they want because they turned you in, they're going to do it in a heartbeat at a drop of a dime. And they're going to drop you like a hot potato. They're going to call up the authorities and say, oh, somebody's taking care of themselves over here. Somebody's growing a garden to feed themselves. And you're going to get SWAT teamed and possibly Guantanamo'd. But I guarantee you, folks, when you've had enough, and if you actually have a spine, you'll be able to do what needs to be done to protect yourself, your family, and your neighbors and your neighborhood. And this goes directly to and is associated with all of your damn gangs and street thugs that are out there today. Have you noticed around your neighborhood or at some locations you got all this graffiti all over the place? You know exactly who's doing that. Just start taking pictures and go into your local police department and say, do you know this symbol? Do you know this symbol? Do you know this one? What's this one? And who belongs to this? They know. Did you know that within each and every single police department, they have an intelligence gathering organization? Did you know that? Huh. Seems to me that us citizens need the same thing. Because then you wouldn't have things like this happening as is happening in southern Nevada in Clark County with the Bundy Ranch. If we had paid more attention to our neighbors and to our neighborhoods, we wouldn't have the crime that we have now. I applaud what's happened in Chicago. It is now, and in other states, not just Chicago. Crime has gone down in Chicago and Detroit, Michigan, because people are arming themselves. Why? Because they're tired of this crap. They're tired of the crime. They're tired of these thugs, these street thugs, these domestic enemies, these domestic terrorists we call street gangs getting away with everything that they're getting away with. So the citizens are stepping up to the plate and taking matters into their own hands. And that's the way it should be, because our neighborhoods are ours, our neighbors are our friends, our family needs to be protected. And that's just the way it should be. Now either you can get your crap, you can get your everything that you have and go support the Bundy Ranch and support that family in their freedoms, because this is the repercussions of this is going to go nationwide, and you yourself are going to be in trouble just walking out of your door. You can either pack your crap and go down there and help out and do what you have to do to help, or you can pack your crap and get the hell out of the country and go to Russia. I'm sure China or Russia would love your citizenship. Yeah, I said it. What are you going to do about it? I don't know, folks. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Wrap this puppy up. If you're into liberty and libertarian values, tune in to The Angel Clark Show, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, at radiofreedom.us.
No elitist drivel, no media spin. Logic over emotion, fact over fiction. The home of independent conservative thought. The Conservative Voice with your host, Jeff Wagner, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
Around the...
What is reality? The foundation of reality is based on many concepts. Each person perceives reality differently. In the book, The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman, they explore the hidden infrastructure of reality. Get your copy today at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Hey, folks, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 9th of April, 2014. Welcome back. Going to wrap this puppy up for the day. Come join me on The Views Expressed live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right there on freeamericaradio.us, and also listen to it on wakingupthemasses.com, and also broadcasting throughout the Chickamauga, Georgia area on 1610 AM. Yes, go listen to Kicking the Capstone with your host, Bob Brutus. You want to hear who is actually running the country? Yes. Go listen to, I was going to say something else, but he doesn't have a computer. Go to Brian D. Lang, Lange, on Facebook. Seems he's having computer problems. I haven't heard any updates about that. But folks, he is a patriot. He tells you exactly what needs to be said. And believe me, his heart is for America and for you. And if he's having computer problems, your support on Live Truth Radio is very much appreciated for him. Also, go to Live Truth 911 on Facebook and find him as well. So, anyway, I tell people that if they don't like this country, they can get out. I make no apologies for that. I tell people that if they don't like what I say, they don't have to listen, and that's their choice. I tell people that if they want to get up off their butt and go do something to support somebody's rights and they don't do that, I kind of wonder how they can sleep at night. I tell people that you shouldn't believe anything that your state-run media tells you, and I absolutely can back that up. I tell people that we are free and individual people. We have rights that were God-given that cannot be taken away. The unalienable rights that we have cannot be taken away. I tell people that we need to do anything necessary to secure the freedoms and liberties that we have been accustomed to. But I want to tell you something. I will not condone any violence whatsoever against anybody, but I do support defense. Okay? Because it is your God-given right to defend yourself. It is your God-given right to be able to do the things that you want to do to make you and your family happy. And anybody coming along trying to suppress you from doing that is a criminal in my book. I don't give a crap if it's a family member who doesn't give a crap about you, or if it goes clear to the top if it's the President of the United States. But on the other hand, there are people out there that really don't give a crap about the Constitution or about, anything else other than their beer and their ESPN and everything that they can take from everybody else. Well, I got a message for you people who are just like that. You got two choices. Either you're going to be met with an irresistible force from people who don't like you, or you can save yourself the trouble and pack your crap and go to Russia. Because you obviously don't give a crap about America or your neighbors. Bye. Now, why do I say that? Now, somebody had questioned me about what I say. Well, don't you think that even though you disagree with someone, that they have a right to say what they say? Yes, and I will fully support their right to say it. But it has been proven time and time and time and time again that more people who say these things, that say that, the more that you try to suppress someone, the more that you get angry because they're not doing what you want them to do, that it leads to them being aggressive against you. It's been proven time and again. So those people who don't think that I should be talking, those people that want to suppress me, that want to cut me off, that think I'm wrong, that think I'm a conspiracy theorist, you've only got one choice in my book, and that choice is pack your bags and get the hell out of my country. But I have a right to say what I have to say too. Yes, but that doesn't mean that you have to beat up on me or anything else for that matter to get your point across. We can sit down with the information that I supply, that you supply, and talk about it and debate it. Can we not? If you're going to slam your fist on the table, and I'm talking in metaphors, if you're going to slam your fist on the table and tell me that I have to believe what you believe, you're an idiot. Pack your bags and get the hell out of my country. I was born and raised here. I do believe this is my country. Much like the Iraqis believe that that country is theirs. Much like the Saudis believe that that country is theirs. Much like Cliven Bundy in Clark County believes that his family, that ranch, that land is his because his family's been there since 1877. Period. These feds, I don't know. Are they showing that much power because they're trying to compensate for something? Or are they showing that much power because they're just that damn stupid? Facts are facts, people. We cannot ignore them. They're right there in front of your face. But we seem to be, I shouldn't say we, there are people out there that seem to be ignoring them only because they don't want to face the truth. They don't want to face the facts. They don't want to know, they don't care, and they don't want to have their day upset because of all this going on. Well, let me tell you something. When you get the knock at the door and they come in and take you away because they can, and they think they can, and for whatever reason they believe that they can, and when you're in an 8x8 room or in a cell somewhere, or yeah, maybe you might think twice about your preconceived idea of what you think should have been. I don't know about you folks, but the United States of America is we the people. We are the backbone of this country. The entrepreneurial spirit of the people in this country helped this country build to the success that it was, until the corporations wanted to get a little piece of the action, until the feds, through the illegal adoption of the Internal Revenue Act, wanted to get a piece of the action. We were great until the Federal Reserve Act was signed into law by President Woodrow Wilson in 1913 after having his arm twisted by the progressives. He's also a progressive. We were doing just fine without having to pay taxes because we had roads, we had schools, we had everything we needed. And people were sustained by their own entrepreneurial spirit. They took care of themselves, they took care of their families, their neighborhoods, their neighbors. They knew what was up. Then it all changed. It all changed. 1871, when the corporations took over. 1871. And then 62 years later, we get a massive overhaul. And then 20 years after that, we get screwed, blued, and tattooed. And not one damn person stood up against it. Why? Well, when you know what you're going to do, when you know the outcome, you reverse engineer intellectually that outcome, and you say, if that has to be that way, then I have to do this right now, and I will do it in this manner, in this many steps to get to that point. And that's what the federal government since 1871 has done. The Act of 1871, the Federal Reserve Act, and the Internal Revenue Act of 1913, the New Deal of 1933, they've put all these boundaries around us and overregulated us and caused us to be suppressed under their tyrannical reign. And now, considered an intellectual corral, because now all they have to do is shut the gate. Using metaphors, folks. All they have to do is sign one piece of paper, the president does, and martial law will be implemented. Your guns will be taken away. Your livelihoods will be taken away. They're already trying to do that now because they know the power of the people. They know that people need to sustain themselves in some way, shape, or form to be able to get the guns, to be able to get the money, to be able to support freedom and liberty. They understand this, so they're taking everything away that they can. You people out there are just allowing it to happen. What else, folks? What else? What else is there? What else is there that has caused us to take our eyes off of the goal? What has caused us? What has caused us to stop in our tracks and give up? I'll tell you right now, I'm not giving up. Never have, never will. If I want to go to from point A to point B, no one's going to stop me. I will accomplish that goal. And if we want peace, freedom, and security in this nation like we had prior to 1871, then we can do it again. It's not going to be easy. It never has been. We are resilient people, and as a society, we can overcome any obstacle that is placed in front of us. The question is, do you want to take the steps? It's entirely up to you, folks. It's entirely up to you. Because if you don't have the backbone or the balls to be able to take that step in defending your home and your nation against enemies, foreign and domestic, you might as well just hop a plane to Russia. And what the ironic part about that is that the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, is telling the Americans, you better stand up for your rights. You better stand up. You better do what you have to do. He's the one that's cheerleading the people in some way to get us to remember that we have constitutional rights. I'm sure he knows our Constitution better than we do. It's time we do something, folks. It's time we do something because, if we don't, we're freaking screwed. I don't like the complacency I see in people. I really, really don't. I don't like how people have just, seemingly given up. I just don't. Folks, I'm going to get out of here a few minutes early, probably a few seconds early. I want to remind you, the views expressed 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us, wakingupthemasses.com, and also broadcasting throughout the Chickamauga, Georgia area on 1610 a.m. I want to remind you of Kicking the Capstone with Bob Brutus. Check him out at wakingupthemasses.com as well. And please pray for Cliven Bundy and his family. And let's get calls to Governor Brian Sandoval's office telling him to get up off his ass and go take care of this situation the way that he should. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always been fun. It is always fun to come to you, and I always like sharing with you the things that I know. I hope that you're encouraged to go out and look this stuff up yourself, because it's only going to be true for you as you observed it. So think about that one, folks. I know that's deep. The views expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern at freeamericaradio.us and wakingupthemasses.com. In the meantime, folks, you want to email me, you can. freeamericaradio@usa.com. That's freeamericaradio@usa.com. The website is freeamericaradio.us. Thank you very much.